Let's read some Glitch in the Matrix stories, part 169. Giggity. Hi. I'm relatively new to your channel, but I've always been interested in things like this, mainly because they seem to follow me my whole life. I could tell you story after story after story, but there is one in particular that I really think you will like and would really like to know what others think happened to us that day. This happened 19 years ago to me and my whole little family after we moved to this small country town where we still live today. It was a beautiful Saturday afternoon in June, and my husband had found an ad for $1 million house for sale close to us, and we decided to drive over and check it out. At the time, $1 million house in this area was news, and we just wanted to see what they would look like. So we all piled into the minivan. Our oldest son was 15, sat at the very back, our daughter 10, and our youngest son, 10 months, sat in the two captain chairs in the middle. Me riding shotgun while my husband drove, took off for the 20-minute drive according to the map. Everything was going normal until we crossed over these railroad tracks outside of town. I remember thinking it just felt weird. We turned onto this back road that was supposed to lead to the road the house was on. It just felt off. I could tell that something was wrong. I just couldn't tell what. We may have passed 4 or 5 houses by now, all well-kept, cute homes, a little close for my taste this far out in the country, when I hear my oldest son yell from the back, "Holy shit, that's pot!" Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but seriously, look, that's what that is, right? That's when it hit me. Every house we had passed had a pot garden, and a nice one at that. They also didn't have it hidden. It was right there out in the open near the road. As we drove on, we saw that every house on this road had its own little pot garden. One even had a cop car in the driveway. But we didn't think anything, we just laughed and kept on driving. Well, we finally got to the house, and it looked like the house from the ad, only 25 years older, in need of much TLC. Hate when they do that. Even though this is red flag number 2, we just chalk it up to them using an older pic for the ad to get more traffic. The house is only one on this short road. It sits at the end. It's surrounded by fields, so we have to pull into the driveway to turn around. The house itself sits about 150 to 200 yards from the road up a slight incline with a blacktop driveway that's about all that's the same as the ad. The basketball court is there, but it has got about 10 junk cars piled into it, so you can't tell what type of condition it's in. The mother-in-law house is a separate building close to where we are sitting. Several of the windows have cracks, and all of them that we can see have the Confederate flag hanging up as curtains. There is a rundown sofa on the porch, and the steps are crumbling down. As we were taking all of this in, I noted that a woman had stepped out of the main house when we first pulled up. Now remember, this house is listed for sale, but the moment I saw her, I got chills. I knew immediately we needed to get out of there. She wore what looked like a handmade dress that reached to her knees, no shoes, and her dirty blonde hair was down and straight as a board. I turned to look at my husband and said, "I think we should leave." And when I turned back, she was running at the van and was already 15 to 20 yards from the house. I screamed, "Drive!" He immediately backs up and my oldest son starts to panic. She's coming! She's coming! I don't know how she moved as fast as she did, but she's over halfway down the driveway now, but her movements aren't human, almost robotic in nature. We started driving down the road, and I looked out of the driver's window, and she was there in the field next to the road, running. She wasn't looking where she was going. She was staring straight at our van. My oldest son was screaming, "She's like the damn Terminator. She's gonna jump on the van." My daughter was trying to keep the youngest from looking out of the window, but she was screaming, "Drive, Dad, drive!" I looked, and we were driving 48 miles an hour. Hard to go fast on back roads out here in the country, and she was right next to us. Once we turned on the pot garden road, she was gone. Over the years, we've tried to find these roads again, but we've never been able to find them. I still have the directions, but it's like those 2 roads don't exist. The railroads are there, but there's no place to turn left when you cross over them, and that's what the directions say, and that's what we did all those years ago. That's not something you forget. Yo, that is so crazy. Wait, where did you see the listing for this house that you wanted to look at? I'm wondering, like, did the listing disappear too? Like when you went back to go look at it? Did you go look at it after? I would have checked it out after. That is so, I don't even know. Was that like another, what do you guys